on American Latino television.
Welcome back to American Latino. I'm Veronica, coming to you from the West Coast, where we caught up with Chicano artist Vincent Valdez. Vincent portrays a surreal urban chaos in his paintings. He's one of the rising stars in Texas, and he's one of the Chicano artists whose work is collected by Cheech Marin.
Only in his 20s, Vincent Valdez already is an accomplished artist. The San Antonio native has taken his work to Europe and been the youngest to have an exhibition at a respected Alamo City museum. His colorful and scenic art is also in the private and public collections of comedic actor Cheech Marin. Vincent sees himself as a storyteller whose drawings and paintings touch people.
A lot of the issues that I'm dealing with in the work are very much issues that people are dealing with in my community, in my city, but then on a more universal global scale as well. You know, we're all in this struggle together and we're all sort of searching for answers.
His often dark, anguish-ridden paintings and drawings reflect his experiences and beliefs, but also tell of a larger sense of pride in his culture and his hope for the future.
I would describe it as hyper-realism. It's jam-packed with information, chaotic in a sense, you know, there's just things happening, there's stories within stories. Well, the Latino influence is an element that's always going to be part of my work. It's who I am, it's the faces that I know. The piece prior to the South Side was a large pastel on paper. He's kind of like the gatekeeper to the South Side. It stands for what it stands for, you know, but it was kind of my personal take on what I feel we as a generation are able to accomplish if we all just kind of stand up and fight. So the idea of fighting, you know, something that's very primitive, but I think there's a lot to be said in the idea of fighting, you know, fighting for love, fighting for humanity, fighting for your rights. So it doesn't always have to be such a negative connotation. That's kind of the whole point.
Vincent knew early on that he was destined to be an artist.
Since I was about 3 or 4, my parents say I started drawing. I knew that's why I was here, you know, even at an early age.
This visual artist's work, titled Stations, was exhibited at the McNay Museum in his native San Antonio in 2004.
I did a whole series of large-scale drawings that stood each about 8 to 10 feet on paper, and they were all charcoal, and it was supposed to kind of parallel the Stations of the Cross. I wasn't too interested in the idea of Christ, the religious man, or boxing as a sport, but I was more interested in this idea of, again, how we all as human beings are struggling to survive.
One of his more searing paintings can be seen in the traveling exhibit titled Chicano Visions.
Cheech Marin purchased at this point about 5 pieces. The one that he's using in his traveling show is titled Kill the Pachuco Bastard, which was based after the Zoot Suit riots in LA in 1943. And what seems to be a controversial painting, I mean, it's been threatened to be banned like in 2 or 3 museums at this point, and luckily Cheech fights for it.
Ultimately, Vincent Valdez wants to leave behind a legacy of artwork that reflects the Chicano experience in its purest form.
I think that in the storytelling again, the more honesty the better, because in the end when I'm not around and the work is, hopefully people have an idea of the things, the experiences that I went through and the experiences that we all went through, you know, as a society, I think, during our time. So that's what I would like to live on.